Prosper Bhule was 27 years old. He planned his crimes meticulously. He knew what he was doing. He was indeed a cunning criminal. He claimed to be a cross-border transporter, locally referred to as Umalaicha, to his victims. He allegedly raped 17 women after luring them to his hideout. Umalaicha, as they are popularly known, are a preferred way for many based in South Africa to send groceries and cash to Zimbabwe. The man masqueraded to be under instructions to give his victims groceries from their relatives in South Africa. He was well informed about the targeted victims. He knew everything about them and their relatives outside the country. Because of the information that he had about them, they never doubted him. He was so persuasive and convincing that to them he appeared genuine. He would claim that his vehicle had broken down in Gwabalanda. The men operated mainly in Old Pumula, in Luveve, in Cowdrey Park, in Gwabalanda, in Entumbani, and in Njube suburbs. He would then ask his victims to accompany him to his place to collect the said groceries. He even offered to pay bus fares for the unsuspecting victims. Little did they know that their days would turn into horror. He raped his victims along the way in an area that was bushy after threatening to stab them with a knife. Most of his victims were between 16 and 21 years and were mostly high school students. Police in Bulawayo then launched a manhunt for the suspected serial rapist. Prosper Bhule was eventually arrested in March 2022. He is said to have raped about 17 women. Upon his arrest in Bulawayo, police indicated that they were to conduct further investigations to get more details on the criminal activities of the fugitive. Prosper caused pandemonium and mayhem and instilled fear among women in the city of Bulawayo. His spate of robberies and rapes had stretched from December 2018 to March 2022. The police stated that Prosper Bhule was notorious for disguising himself as a messenger. He would ask his victims to accompany him to his place to collect their parcels from South Africa. After raping them, he would rob them of their cell phones, cash, and other valuable belongings. The suspect always made sure that he used footpaths which passed through some bushes, where he would rape his victims and steal their valuable belongings and cash. Prosper, however, was arrested in Luveve following a tip-off. His luck had run out. He was positively identified by all his victims at an identification parade. His arrest coincided with that of another notorious rapist and murderer, a man called Bright Shantali, who was arrested in Marondera. Bright Shantali had raped his victims and was believed to have murdered over 20 women in his rape and murder spree. Bulawayo police spokesperson Abednego Ncube had a special word of advice to members of the public, especially those who are living in the diaspora. He highlighted the need for them to contact their relatives back home and state exactly when they will be sending groceries or cash. This would protect their relatives and their children. The second part of his vital advice was directed at those at home, including children. They should never entertain any strangers and should call the people who will have sent the groceries or cash to verify the information. Otherwise, they will become victims of criminal activities. At all costs, he pointed out, they should avoid leaving their homes to visit unknown places to collect or to receive parcels and cash from their relatives outside the country. Police said that the arrested fugitive had mastered the art of disguise to deceive his unsuspecting victims, who were mostly young women. The public should desist from dealing with strangers who approach them without any prior communication from relatives in the diaspora. Police can come in handy. That is the message. Reporting such cases can lead to faster investigation, arrest, and prosecution. We live in a weird world where crime has become so rampant. Combating crime, on the other hand, is a communal responsibility. See crime, hear crime, report it, and immediately. The police have always urged communities to be part of the system of combating the scourge. Minor children should not stay alone at home, and an elderly person should take the responsibility of receiving such things as cash and groceries from the diaspora. This may cause trust issues in families, but it protects the children who are vulnerable and who can be taken advantage of.